has made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set, 19. Check, 154, 154. 55.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Let's go, fellas.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes. Looking to throw on second. And finding the tight end, Hooper. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. They get the first. The decision to run on third and medium winds up being a good one.
And the Texans first down.
You're set. 19. Right there in the middle. 50 points down. He's coming. You ain't got it. Go.
From the 50, it's Watson. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 25 yards. That time. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
Here we go. 10-24. Hey, we got to snap it. We got to snap it.
They'll run on first down. Foreman. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Vikings 19-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Watson. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Austin Hooper, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And right away he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. We figured they'd come out with intensity and aggressiveness on the defensive side of the ball, and they have an early turnover to show for it.
They lived up to their reputation. That's who they are. They want to attack on every play, even though they're playing defense. And you're exactly right. Force the early turnover, and now they'll try to attack again and again throughout the game.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
And the Texans First down.
Where's the tap? 19! All day, dog.
Now it's Watson. A bootleg. Flushed out right. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Now this play was all about the eyes. As he rolled out to his right, he kept one eye downfield and one eye on what was in front of him, and he ended up picking up some pretty good yardage.
Check.
From the gun, here's Watson. Dancing to his left. And he will score. It's a touchdown. Deshaun Watson with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Texans push further out in front. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it's now 14-0. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On second down now, it's Cook. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. An update from Buffalo. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Watson on first down. Buying time to his left. He'll have a first. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Let's be frank. You hate the fumble at the end of the play. But prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's going to be close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 43-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Cousins on target to Diggs. The Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Rudolph on the receiving end from Cousins. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 23. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nick Perry came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Cousins now. And he's going to go down again. Jadeveon Clowney, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
The quick slant caught. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. Who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on 1st down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd. The kick by Maher is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire. And they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Cousins to throw it. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Cousins on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
To try again after the sack. Cousins. And Diggs has it. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defense.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Here's Matt Wild now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken around the 12. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Here's Watson. He's got Fuller. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. From the red zone now, Watson. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Watson down to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick 6? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Cousins now from the 50. His throw incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And now it's third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On third down, Cousins. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in
Season of
December.
giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Steps away to his left. Wide open receiver complete. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
It's set. 19. 54. Line up, line up, go.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
Come on now, let's go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 44. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Hey, 59. Hey, 31.
Watson hands this to Foreman. And he is going to lose yardage here. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Go. Go.
A shotgun snap for Watson. He'll let this go for the end zone. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Let's go. Do it.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Justin Reed. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterback...
And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Watson going to give this one to Miller. Finds a seam inside the 40. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Vikings 18. They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. Here's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Jabril Peppers, a former first-round pick, there on the coverage. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
A quick throw taken in by Diggs. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Play action now. Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already. And they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Now throwing on first down and completing it. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stopped him behind the line for the 2nd straight play.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. They run it again with Cook. And to the 46 he goes and no further, so he is well short of the first down marker. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on...
It got his man complete. It's a gain of 35.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for him.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45.
24.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. They'll roll him out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Ben Gideon gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Going deep for Hopkins. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Marr on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Benardrick McKinney able to record his 5th sack of the season. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Play fake. Cousins. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Left side caught by Diggs. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Matt Weil now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Taking it about the 16. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. On 1st down, Watson eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Off of play action, it's Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Now Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Cousins on target to Diggs. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings. Throwing, Cousins, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go.
To the air again, it's Cousins. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. And Diggs has it. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They'll throw again. Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Kendrick Bourne, his 1st touchdown of the year. And the Vikings are able to get a score back. Fairbairn good with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. Oh, what a juke into space. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Houston. He goes 86 yards on the kick return as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, they're just having fun. I mean, they are clicking on every single cylinder, offense, defense, and here, special teams.
And how about the extension of the lead? This one felt a lot like, you remember Seattle-Denver Super Bowl 48? Percy Harvin to start the second half. Seattle was already firmly in control. Now, they feel like they can't be caught.
Yeah, they are firmly in control right now. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Vikings take over first and 10.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And now it's first and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Cousins now. Setting up the screen for Cook. He's got daylight. 20, 10. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College, not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You just tried to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Watson with a give to Miller. And an alley to run. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Down, Houston.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, first and 10.
Under 10, 10.
10 carry now for Lamar Miller. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A 3-yard loss. Fourth down now.
Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up in what's been so far a tough game for them. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Houston, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch,